Hello everyone. This is Maria with mariascraftingcorner.com. Welcome to another paper crafting video. Thank you so much for being here today. Hey Kiwi, how are you, dear friend? I hope you're doing great. And I don't see anybody else joining, and hopefully we get somebody coming on here soon. Now that said, I am just looking to make sure that all my stuff is working well. It seems like it is. So hopefully it's all working. There was some communication there between my iPad and my computer, and it was kind of not working very well. Hey, Carrie, how are you? Welcome. Okay, guys. So we have, guess what, a lot to go through. Hey, Anita, I am doing great. How are you? If you are a demonstrator, you probably know a lot. Hey, Matthew, how are you? A lot about these already because, again, you're a demonstrator, so you should most likely know. Miss Tracy, how are you doing? The truth is, I probably most of the time you guys know better than I do. So, because I always feel like I'm behind the times with Stampin' Up. So it's just a funny thing. But I'm going to give you a couple of things that are happening now. If you have any questions, please always send me an email to Maria and mariascraftingcorner.com. I love to chat with you, whatever you need. I'm here, right, to help you. So send me an email if you have any questions. Now, these are the three new kits. I was going to say card kits. The three new kits that Stampin' Up! Showcase is starting August 5th. So these are really cute. I like them all. I think that probably my favorite one is the Harvest Home Garland Kit. I think that that could be so useful and so nice for decorations in the fall. So you want to get them, let me know if you have any questions about it. But yeah, I just really like them. And this one that's called Bunch of Thanks Kit. If you are a demonstrator, have you gotten that one? I've not gotten, I like it, but I am not completely sure if I do. Anyways, guys, check them out. They always have a really decent price range, and it includes everything you need in the box, right? The second thing I want to remind you is this is no longer our paper pumpkin kit. I am sorry, guys, I forgot our uh, paper pumpkin kit is now a let's see, it's called Fall to Toil, and it is a very cute, I think fall slash autumn kind of a kit, and it matches with one of the incoming suites from, I think that one is from the catalog. So super cute. Hi Sissy, how are you? So sorry about that. I completely forgot that I didn't update this one. Hopefully this next one is updated. Oh yeah, this is a good one, guys. There is a sale for any 2025 2027 in color products is 15% off, and is all through August. So I would say make the most out of it. If you're like me, guys, I don't usually. So when we have the new in colors, I always buy the packet, like the sample packet. And I absolutely love that because that way I have the opportunity to kind of like see which colors I'm really going to use. I don't know if it happens the same to you, but every time we get a new in colors, I'm like, I love this one and I love this one and I'm going to use them all, right? In the end, I don't. There are always colors that I definitely prefer. And in this case, for example, the cloud cover and the secret sea have been very much those colors that I'm using a lot. So I will make the most in getting a couple of paper packets or cardstock packets for those colors. I also realized today that I've been using the Darling Duckling. I always forget the names, guys. I feel so bad because I shouldn't forget them, but I always forget the names of the colors. But anyways, I just realized that I don't have any more of it. You'll see one of the cards I made today. That's probably part of the reason. So anyways, just make the most out of the sale. It is whatever has the colors in. So DSP will include the ribbons, the ink pads, and so forth. So, hey, Adrian. Carrie is asking if the secret C is dark gray. I don't have an example here. I'm gonna bring it up here. It's very hard to see. Oh, yeah, you're not seeing this. It's kind of, the way I see it, honestly, is like a gray, dark blue, like a very dark blue, but with gray undertones. And those are more knowledgeable about colors can correct me. I'm bringing, I'm bringing a piece. I'm bringing a piece, and we'll compare it here in a little bit when I have this camera looking down. But anyways, so make the most out of it. I actually really, really like dark gray, but I think that I just really like dark colors. I remember the evening evergreen. I love that color. Mossy meadow, you guys know how much I like it. So I really have a tendency to like those dark colors. Um, then, so Adrian is saying that cloud cover and the secret sea are also her favorites. Now, this is the gift for this month. If you want to buy or purchase something from me, it has to be $50 before shipping and taxes, and you will receive that either next, the next month, next week. It kind of really depends on how I organize my my stuff, but you will get it within 2 or 3 weeks of your purchase. Now, this is something I've been having a lot of people very happy and excited about it, and it is the whimsical Christmas card workshop, and it's gonna be coming in September. I believe the dates I am choosing is 13, and actually let me see, guys, because so it would be the 13th and the 20th. Because just as you can imagine, okay, just as you guys can imagine, I, I, I am definitely a slow crafter, and I think that I just rather take my time. All these uh, workshops are always live, and that I definitely take my time. I do have stuff together, but I just think that it takes time. Now we are going to be making 6 or 7 cards depending on my time. And we are going to have 2 examples for each one using new products, and the other 2 using products, retired products, mostly from last year. I figured that way that gives you a good, bandwidth of options. And just like we did in a previous workshop, I will bring out things that you could use instead of what I am using. But yeah, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really beautiful um some really beautiful cards. I have not received, it's what I was thinking. I have not received my order yet, so I still have not defined what's gonna do what. But just from seeing in the just in the website, I have more or less an idea of things that I want, and there, what's coming really, guys. And I know you probably seen already from other demonstrators that do the unboxing. You can probably see that they are very, very beautiful things. There's some whimsical fun sweets. There's some very elegant ones. So I think we have a great variety of what's coming. Hi, Alice, how are you? For just talking about the catalog, and I'm sorry, I'll promise to go to the crafting table here soon. For those that have purchased with me, I have sent the catalog through Stampin'Up. So it is my understanding that they send them either August 20th, or like the last, probably the last 10 days of August, they send them. It's just a little bit easier for me financially wise, right? They already have this massive contract with whomever, and if I send them, it's just much more expensive on my end. So that's those will be shipped here soon. If you are a client of mine, please, please, please let me know if you don't get them. They're by mid, I don't know, probably like the first week and a half of September. And then I can check what's happening. And but again, there's a lot of beautiful things coming now. On top of the catalog, we do have online exclusives that will be also available at the same time in September. Okay, that's a lot of talking. I promise we're moving to the crafting table. Now, this is, let me show you here. This is the lady that I saw the card from. It's Crazy Crafty XYZ. You can find her on YouTube. I really like some of her cards. Pretty cool stuff. So I may be using some of her creativity, just because I really don't have time to create fan folds, right? That would be, I would drive myself crazy, quite frankly. But yeah, if you want to go check it out, I'll try to tag her to our um, to our in the description box, sorry. And let's move to the crafting table finally. Hey, Sonia. Okay, so this is just going back to, this is Secret Sea. So just for comparison, Carrie, this is navy blue. Hey, Donna. Hi, Belinda. How are you doing, guys? So that's just a comparison so you have an idea. So what I was telling you, I think it's like a very dark blue with undertones of gray. And the same happens with the cloud cover, is like a light blue, but with a lot of gray undertones. And they're just really, really nice to use. So I'm just going to put out there. I love them. I have to say, guys, this is the printable, downloadable tutorial. You'll see it. It will be in my website. Hopefully today the tutorial is done. I have not written, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm putting that out of there like if I didn't need the measurements, guys, I'm telling you. I've not finished the post. So, yeah, hopefully today, if not tomorrow. I try not to make very complicated posts. If you go to my post or to my blog, they're not complicated. I don't write a lot of stuff, but I have not even started. Let me be just like, quite frankly, quite frank out there. This is not going to be a long card, I hope. We'll see how that goes. If I shut up, maybe we'll move on and we'll finish sooner. So what we're going to be using today, we're going to be using several things. One of them is the Charming Day bundle. We're going to be using some of the sentiments, and for sure I have them in here, the dies. I love their dies. Hold and behold, I did not color today. I was this close to color, but I always end up coloring things, right? Because I just like it so much. And I figured I really wanted to focus on the dies for this card. So hopefully that was a good choice. The other thing that we'll be using, and I'm just going to bring one of them, is the Floral Charm DSP, which belongs to the Charming Day. So the suite is called Floral Charm. Charming Day belongs to the suite. And it has a really good variety of colors. I really like it. And so we're going to be using that today. Now, along with that, we're going to be using the Just a Note dies. You've probably seen them. I've used them in the past, but I really like that it brings like kind of like the tour cheat, and it's really good for scrapbooking, but I think that just in general it's really, really cute and useful. So we'll be using that one, and then we'll also be using alongside, a plastic bag. We're going to be using the Damask Designs embossing folder, and this is another one of my favorite embossing folders that I've used lately. One of the reasons that I like them very much is that it's 6 by 6, and so it's very useful because I do enjoy that size. And so, you know, you have to play less with the embossing folder to get the whole cheat if you're using 6x6. Oh, Carrie says she loves that DSP. Yeah, I absolutely love it. And then the other thing that we are going to be using is these things. And this was a Preview Paper Pumpkin Kit die. So I told you guys that I was going to use a mix and match, a little bit of retire stuff. I actually was I actually wanted to use the hello that it's available, but I told you last time we were together that I lost it. So there's that. There's nothing I can do about it. It's very sad, but that's what happened. I lost it, and I am not going to buy it again. I was this close to buy it again, and I'm like, I'm not going to buy it again. I'll just deal with it. I really like big fonts. You guys know that. So I was a little bit sad about that. Yes, 6x6 embossing folders are one of my favorites. Actually, the big 8x6 are amazing too. I will not buy, this is, you know, Maria will not buy anymore the smaller ones. I tend not to use those really. So just saying. Okay, we're going to use, let me see if I can bring it. We're going to be using, this is the paper that inspired our card today. And so I really like this paper, but also I am pushing myself to use colors that I don't normally use. Blue, so this is a very, so if you know about complement colors, this is a complement colors, right? The orange and the blue are complementary colors, and so you will like these peas, but these are colors that I just don't use often, and so I figured I am going to push myself a little bit. I think that in spite of the fact that I really like orange, and I do like orange, I just don't use it often. So I don't know, I realized that I am a very like stuck to my colors kind of person, and every so often you have to push yourself to like kind of explore other things. Okay, so we have here a 12x6 piece. Yes, this is going to be a 6x6 piece. I was not I was going to make it a little smaller, but I'll show you it will not be able to be done with these measurements. It will be, if you try the measurements a little bit different, then yes, you'll be able to. But I did not want to play too much with the actual mechanism, and I didn't want to do the panels that we'll be using smaller. So I'm using a 6x6. I don't think even a 5x5, because I was going to do that, and I'll show you when you see the other card when we're done with this one, that it just won't do 5.5 by 5.5. So this is the card base. We are going to add our panels right now. Or yeah, our first panels or our layers, and this is the first layer. So I am using Timid Tiger, and so maybe one of the reasons why I don't prefer this is because I feel it's just like the Broncos, right? And the Broncos are the Colorado football team, and I'm like, I'm just, my brain is stuck with this is the Broncos, and I really, you know, have nothing to do with Colorado football, but this is just a really beautiful color combination. If you see that, we're going to cover that. Actually, it was part of me while I was working with the card. I was coloring these because I didn't get the ribbon for Timid Tiger, and I'm like, okay, maybe if I just color, and this is peach pie, maybe if I just color this, it will work. And I don't know, I really don't like it. It ended up being a little darker. I don't know if you can see, it's just a tiny bit darker. So I don't think I'm going to be using it. We'll see what happens in the end. I may end up just using the peach pie on its own, because the paper has some, you know, it's softened, or there's different colors and it softens, and I just think that again it may work. We'll see what it goes. If not, we'll maybe using the pair, I forget how this is called. Let me see. This is called Mossy Meadow in Gold Trim. This is gorgeous, gorgeous ribbon, and it belongs to the Painterly pair. So yeah, I love this one, and so we may be using this color because it is also part of the colors that are included in our main inspiring paper. Okay, so I just glued that. We'll decorate this in the end. I mean, I have several ideas. We'll see how that goes. And I'm just going to bring the other two panels. All the panels are the same in here, and the reason for that is because I feel two things. The first one is that DSP is extremely busy, right? Like it is gorgeous. The colors are beautiful. It's very or it has a tendency, I don't know, it reminds me of Thanksgiving kind of fallish colors, right? So I really like it. And let me see. And so please don't do that. Okay, guys, let me focus here, I guess. But I was, what I was gonna say, you know, I really like because it has some fall feel to it. So it can be used that way. But the paper is pretty busy. Like if you see it on its own, it's really busy. So I just feel that white will allow us to, I'm looking if to see if these two panels are even or aligned, and they are. The white will allow us, will give us some leeway to use other elements in here to make it work. So let me put that in close up because we all know that my glue just dries. We're going to put these on the side for 1 minute, and we are going to work on the mechanism. So we're going to need 3 pieces. 2 of these pieces, and remember all these measurements are included, but these 2 pieces are 3.5 by 1 3/8. I have one already done, and the bigger piece is 2 3/8 by 5.25. Okay. So let's get started. It's really the same process for all of them. And so once you get one figured out with the right measurements, because the measurements in these two are different, but it's pretty similar just in general. So we're going to get the bigger piece, and we're going to align it. We're going to place it horizontal and align to the trimmer, and we're going to, I don't know why I got my pen yet. We're going to align at 5/8, and we're going to score. So that's the first one. And then we're going to move to 3/4, and we are going to make a mark. And I always like to, even if it's right there, I like to add, you know, to use the ruler because it helps me. Now I am using a white pen. This is a Prismacolor pen. I just no longer have white from our pencils, but as you can tell, I have a lot of them in here of our regular pencils. So I'm not going to buy another one. The Prismacolors are sold separately, and Carrie just told me not to. Very good point. She said, be careful that the card doesn't stick. So very, very good point. Thank you, Carrie. I just left it open. So again, we scored at 5/8, and now we moved to 3/4 and made a little mark there at the bottom. Now I'm going to bring my cheat sheet here. Now we're going to go to 2 9/16, and I know that's not ideal, but that is the little line right after the half point. So see if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you get to 2.5 and move a little bit to one line, that will be 2/16. I try to make it, you know, with a different measurement, and it was not working as well. So I figured we don't like 16ths. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't like 16ths, but it's just one of them. So I'm going to move these to 2 9/16, and we are going to score all the way. Now on this same, we're going to turn vertical. we're going to align at 5/8. So I'm going to align here at 5/8. I'm going to close my trimmer here, and with the pen on the score line we just made, so that's actually the middle of this piece, we are going to make a little mark. Okay, and just a little mark, we're going to use that later. So let me show that up close because I know it's hard to see because it's further away. So 5/8, 3/4, this is 2 and 9/16, and then we just made that little mark at 5/8. Okay, now we are going to move to 4 and 3/8. Okay, there it is, 4 and 3/8, and we are going to make a little mark on the bottom again, and now we move to 4 1/2, and we're going to score. Okay, hello Bev, good morning. And there we go. So let me bring this up close so you guys can see this. And that's what you're going to have. I did not include a like a template, but what I'll do is I may do this again and just take a picture later, so maybe it just gives you an idea of how it's going to look. And now what we're going to do, which is, again, we've done this, I think that all these interactive mechanisms work more or less the same. And we are going to align the first dot we have there with the dot up top in the middle score line, and we are going to score diagonally, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, there it is. I'm aligning the bottom one with that one at the top. There it is, and there we go. Okay, so that is the first one. They all fold the same, so let's go ahead and do this one real quick. These, in literally it's almost the same. We're going to go to 5/8. We're going to score. We go to 3/4. There it goes, and we're going to mark. And then from there, sorry guys, I didn't memorize this. Even if I wrote that down, sometimes when I write it down, I manage to get better recollection. Then we're going to go to 1 3/4, and we're going to score, same as we did before. We're going to turn this vertical, but this one goes at 1/8, so at 1/8, sorry, at an eighth. So we align an eighth of an inch, and we make our little dot. And actually I didn't do that very well. There it goes. And now we turn back horizontal, and we move to 2 3/4. So there's go 2 3/4, and yes, you guessed it, we're going to make a little mark. And then we move to 2 7/8, and then we're going to score. Okay, and now we're just going to do just the same process. Like I said, we're going to score diagonally between, whoops, I almost cut it, guys, between those two white dots. And we're going to turn and do the other side. So it was like, it's not closing. Okay. Okay, so now here are our two pieces. There you go. See, it's the exact same look, right? So we, and so does the folding. So that's kind of easy, makes it easier. We're going to fold mountain. So the first score line, mountain. The one in the middle goes valley, and the other flap will go mountain. And now, same as we've done in the past, so these score lines, so they go mountain. So I'm just pushing a little bit, guys. I don't push very hard, so this area doesn't get those, you know, we don't affect this fold, I guess, but, or this score line. So slowly I am pushing there. So I'm, with this hand, I'm holding one side and pushing that way, and with the other hand, I'm pushing down, right? And now I'm pushing kind of for these to meet, and this is like it wants to do it on its own, so it's not very hard. And then you just fold it together, and this is how this needs to look. I am just going to get this there. Now, once you do this, you can make sure that this is, I guess when it's folded like this, there shouldn't be any areas that you could see. So for example, you know, like everything is well aligned, and that tells you that the mechanism is well done. If it's a little bit off, here's another one, see? If it's a little bit off, it will still be okay. But if it's off, then you may want to do it again because it may affect the mechanism. And here we go, it's the same process. Mountain, then we go valley and mountain. Okay, and just like we did before, we fold mountain those diagonal score lines, and then we're trying to put, this one's smaller, so it's kind of like a little bit easier. So we're going to push this like that, and it closes. Now, do you see what I was saying? Look, there it is. Like that's not well, really well aligned. So I am going to see if I am able to kind of like make this work, right? Convince it. And if we can convince it, then it will work. But if not, I'd rather cut the piece. It seems like it's wanting to. Yeah, I think we managed. Look, it's pretty decent now. Okay, so maybe you just work a little bit to just fold it in a way that it folds correctly. And those are the three mechanisms we need. Now we are going to bring our card base and bring the big mechanism. And I am going to, okay, here it is. I am going to use the tear tape, and we are going to use 2 pieces to it. I just feel is the easiest. If you have the 1/2 inch or the, is it, I think it's, I told you guys it's 3/8 of an inch, that will work too. But I'm going to use this one because I'm almost done of the other with the other one. I've been using it a lot for a mini album I was making, and so I kind of will have to buy here soon, and I don't have a whole lot left. So we are going to be using our turn tape, even if we have to, you know, take 2 of them, use 2 of them, and we are going to calculate from the top to more or less like 3/4. I think that's about 1/2 an inch, 3/4. It does not really matter a whole lot. Visually, this is what I am seeing. Let me see how much that is. So we have the actual accurate description of it. So it's kind of like, it's like 5/8. So again, between 1/2 an inch and 5 3/4 of an inch, I think will do. And all we're going to do, guys, and I know it's hard to see because I'm a little far away, but all we're going to do is align the like the middle score line of our mechanism with the score line at the center of our card base. And now I'm going to move this here a tiny bit. Sorry, I just want to make sure that this is actually straight because it's hard for me to see when it's far away. There it goes. I think that is straight enough. It looks straight from here, so hopefully it is. So again, I'm aligning these 2 score lines, so the 2 middle score lines, and I'm leaving that there as it is. I'm going to come here with my take your pick and remove the backings. Maybe there's one, and holy moly. Okay, there it is. There comes the second one. And all I'm going to do, guys, really is just fold down like that. Fold onto itself, right? And now I'm going to fold this back, fold it in half, just the perfect half, and we're going to remove the backings again. Now it's easier because I actually can't do it with my 2 hands. Okay, that was not very good, very elegant. There it goes. And just fold it close, and there you go. That's where the mechanism goes. Now we're just helping the mechanism back into itself and making sure it closes okay. So There it goes. That's our first mechanism. Now we're going to bring the other two mechanisms and we're going to add, just like we did with that piece, we're going to add the tear and taping here. And the other one, there you go. Okay. And we are going to not do that. Okay, so same. What we're going to do here is we're going to align the middle of the mechanism with the edge of the big mechanism. So, and it's kind of easy because it's right there, right? The edges, you can feel it very well. And so that's what we're going to do. So we are making sure that this is aligned at the top. And again, I'm going to move this a tiny bit towards me so I can see a little better, and then align with the edge. And after that, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to remove the backings, and we're going to fold this onto itself. And I'm kind of hoping, I can't see very well if it's aligned here at the top, but I think it is sort of mostly well aligned. And just like we did with the other one, we're going to fold this back and fold in half. And we're going to, oops, well, let me bring that up there. There you go. And then we'll bring another one. And yes, I am using two. I just feel, uh-oh. There was a moment there of frantic. For some reason, my phone disconnected, but it looks like it connected back. Let me know if it did. Carrie, I see you saying that it went blurry. Let me know if it comes back. It's back in my... Okay, it seems like it's back, right? Good. Okay, thank you, Carrie. And we're going to do, actually, I just added, come back in here and then put it back in there, right? Like it's not a big deal. And we're going to close, we're going to put that or push the triangle inside, and then we're going to come back and see it's closing, right? That closing piece is very important. And let me do this, guys, because it always happens when I'm making this. And I know I should have used glue because it helps glue the cardstock against the embossed cardstock. It's been my experience that it just doesn't like the tear and tape. So I'm going to use glue with this one, or use both, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So nothing off tops here. Let's see. By the way, I have to tell you guys, it's very, very sad, but we no longer have these nips. Like I was going to buy several, according to me, right? And I'm just waiting and waiting, and I was going to buy, and yeah, we don't no longer have them. And maybe I just didn't look correctly, but it's gone. They're gone. So sad for those of us that really like the snips. No longer Stampin' Up sells them. That is very sad. They were there. Our community gave us a good amount of options that have of scissors that have worked for them in the past. So just, you know, if you want to go, I don't remember. I did get a variety. Don't laugh. I got like several of them. These smaller ones are pretty cheap. So this is the Fiskars, this is AK Tools, and this is Westcott. So we'll see which one really works well, and I'll be giving you my what would be like my take on them in a little bit, in maybe a month or so. So we're going to do the same thing, and I'm pushing here a little bit towards me just to make sure that this is well aligned there in a straight line, and just like we did there. So align at the top, align with the edge, and now we're going to take the tear and tape here. There it goes. And we're going to fold. So back and fold. That move a tiny bit. I felt it move. I think we corrected it. And then now we're going to fold on the other side. And all we're doing is folding onto itself. So Susie says that, sorry guys, that Fiskars has very good. Yeah, I have used Fiskars in the past. After I got into Medicaid. That's where I work, guys. Sorry. After I got with Stampin' Up, I ended up getting this nips, and so I have not used any Fiskars. And I think this is the one that Susie or that Suze recommended the last video, and so we'll see how that goes. I just got them. Okay, so this is the card. It all is working, and you can see that it's closing. It's going to be a little thick, and I forgot to put the ribbon. How often does that happen, guys? Have you noticed? We'll put a ribbon here later. Can't you do? What can you do? I always forget the ribbon. It's crazy. Okay, so now we are going to decorate the outside. Oh, have fun, Kiwi. Have fun. We're going to decorate the outside because I feel that once all this is in here, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So we are starting here, and the first thing I'm going to do, it's bring, where is it? Here it is. Bring these, put it here so I don't forget, right, about it. So I had cut, and here they are. Let me bring. So I had cut a variety of the Just a Note, the ones that make the little page. And so I figured we can have one. There's another one. Okay, guys, let me bring my mess in here because I just can't see from here. Okay, so I cut a white one because I think that we always need like a kind of like an element to help settle. So I have this one here. I'm going to put this one higher up top and then this one kind of like this below. And the reason is because if I put it up top in here, we'll be able to see it with the decorations I have in mind. And this one a little bit towards the edge in there. And then hopefully we are able to put this one in here in a way that you know, is straight, but it also connects with both of the papers we're using. Now I'm going to put this one in here, and we're going to add these two. And let's go and see. I want this one, like I said, a little bit higher so we can actually see the paper. Otherwise, the decorations make kind of like really be on top of it. Sorry guys, I lost the word I wanted to use. So I'm going to move this a tiny bit up here. And now this is the one up top. But before I put anything else, I am just going to add our ribbon in here. And I always leave a lot. I know that, but partially it is because I am very not good with, oops, like that didn't work. I'm not very good with making bows, and so I need a lot of ribbon to make a decent bow. So there's that. And I am going to add the tear and tape on this side. So that's what's going to help hold it up. And oh, here it is. I was like, it had less. Okay, so there we go. And I'm just using a big piece out there that we are going to more or less, I am hoping that it's sort of straight. I can't see very well when I am in the making the video just because I, you know, this great eyes of mine, I just don't know where to focus. And although I absolutely love the gold side, we are going to use the green side because it matches really well the paper and the whole card. So there it goes. That's how it's going to be. We figured it out every time, huh? I forget. Now I'm going to bring this one here, and I keep debating if I want these high up, but I don't. So I am going to put glue on the top and a little bit towards the middle on the bottom, and that's because we're going to be using some other decorations, and I need that to be, you know, to put things underneath. So, okay, so that's what we have so far. And let me bring all the messes I have. So the first thing I have is this beautiful thanks that I told you, I showed you the die. It was from the Paper Pumpkin kit, and I am using our, I don't remember well how it's called, guys. Sometimes I'm like the worst demonstrator, but it's the block. I call it a block turn tape. I mean, of dimensional. So it's a big page of dimensional that you can have, and then you just can cut it with it. And this is very useful for things like this. So your whole word is up in, you know, or has some dimension, instead of trying to bring the mini dimensionals and try to fit them, which is very complicated sometimes. That is great for smaller dies if you want to bring that up. And so these will probably go there. And then, like I told you, I did have a variety of things that I got. One of them is I die cut a clip. I just think this is so cute. I don't even know if we really need it, but I just thought it was so cute. I needed to try it. And we're going to put that like somewhere like that. It just looks so cute, guys. I can't help it. So that could have been also die cut with that big block of dimension. I don't know how it's called, guys, don't kill me. And so what I did die cut. I mean, you guys know me very well at this point in time. When I am die cutting, I am never stingy, right? I cut a lot of stuff because I always figure that whatever I need, if it's here and I'm in the live, I don't have to worry about, oh, I don't have enough or whatever. And I die cut. So this is petal pink, and again, all we're following is that paper. So let me bring the big piece and just to explain quite quickly, right? Like this one looks pretty petal pinkish. It's not, but it's kind of like just like less orange. And then this one is the timid tiger. And so I brought these two, and then just because, and let me bring this up here again. Whoops, this one is Cajun Craze. And so you can use copper clay. You can use some pecan pie instead. I use copper clay. I'm not sure we're going to use everything. We're just going to play with some of the colors in here. The other one I got is, this is Night of Navy. And this one, actually, I used the daubers to give all of them a little bit of color and dimension. And so for this one, I use Secret Sea. And then I did die cut a little bit of not musty, misty moonlight, because if you see it, this one, this is where I'm like, this totally looks like misty moonlight. It's not perfect, but it's fairly close. And so I cut one in misty moonlight. When you're doing this kind of arrangements, you want darker colors and and lighter colors, right? Because then you have a variety to play with depth. And that's one of the reasons I did this. Now, for the mossy meadow ones, I'm actually using the, well, this one, yeah, this one is just, no, this one it is. So I'm actually using the double-sided cardstock from Stampin' Up. I don't remember which kit it brought it. I always buy the workshop kits. I love the workshop kits. So I don't remember which one it came with, but that's how I got it. And it's very useful to create these things because there you go. You can't see the difference between one and the other, right? So very dark on one side and much lighter on the other, and then you can play with what I was telling with having some lights and darks in here. So the main piece I really like the petal pink. I think you'll know that I love petal pink. And so we're going to add this one. And this is, so initially I just cut the Cajun Craze because I was like, oh, this looks good. But then I thought it's really, there's a big difference between the Cajun Craze and the petal pink. So I figured if I add one of these, here it is, like one of these in here, it would help kind of with that. I don't know how to say, kind of like blend it better, or not use the Cajun craze, right? I don't need to use it because I can just do the Timid Tiger and the Petal Pink. So those are the options. I just want to show you kind of like what my thought process was for this card. On the other side here, I also have, or maybe we can just put this. I really cut quite a bit of them. Another one in here, and then we'll be able to work this through kind of like that. So I really, really like this about these die cuts, and it's that you have different positions for the flowers. I think that really, really helps in here. And what I am envisioning now is bringing one of these darker ones maybe underneath, so it brings some contrast. Kind of like that could do. And I like just a little bit. Look, that looks really, really cute. Just a little bit will do and will work well. And then of course we can add some leaves. So I am thinking I want this big leaf underneath our friend in here. And then we're going to bring the blue ones underneath in here. So the reason I'm not using blue in here is because you will barely see them. And then we'll bring this in back in here. So that is like my idea. So let's get to it real quick. We're going to start with the foliage, and then we'll go from there. And again, I'm just going to bring this up here. I'm being mindful of the edge in here. I tend to just go over all the time for whatever reason. And we're just going to glue that there. And then we're going to bring one of these in here, a little bit to the side, maybe lower there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these in here. We don't need that stem that big. We just don't need it. So it does not make sense to, you know, kind of have that, and it's just going to be in the way all the time. And we're going to bring our other one in here. We're going to do the same thing. We don't need that stem. First of all, we need to glue the foliage. And again, I'm using Misty Moonlight and the navy blue, making sure that this is inside our perimeter here. And now we bring, oops, this one in here, just like that. Almost. Sometimes it just comes back with me. And now we're going to bring the big element in here, so we can plan from here where we want the rest of the stuff. Obviously, guys, I did cut in a ton of things, but the truth is, and I know you know this because you've been here before, where I'm like, yeah, remember that card I made and I used these are the leftovers from that. There's many times where that has been a real lifesaver. So I'm going to move these a tiny bit out, and I'm going to bring the other flower kind of underneath there, and it just helps pop up that. And I did have also leaves. Like I cut a lot of things for these. I was just thinking, we'll see. I just don't know exactly what I was going to do, guys, to be fully honest. And so I figured that the more we have, the more it was going to help me. And I want these in here, just like there. And I'm just going to cut a little bit, making them a little bit smaller. We don't need the whole big leaves. but I like the contrast. That's what I'm looking for here, is getting some of that contrast. And I'm cutting that out so we can use these somewhere else. We'll see where. And I'm going to bring one of the blue ones. Let me see. One of the blue ones, but the small one. And I want to get this somewhere, but I am not sure where. No, I don't want this to be. Let's see. So again, we're going to cut a tiny bit. And we'll add this here. So like underneath this. Right there, and I'm gonna bring my take your pick and try to put, okay, these leave in here. I want it underneath this, and that is attached. So I'm gonna cut it real quick, and let's see if we can do this. Okay, yeah, I like that better. So you have the leaf on the back, and again, it just creates that idea of dimension. So look how pretty that looks. We're just playing with the die cuts. We're nothing colored. Coloring is what is easy for me. I guess you know that. And so I figure I needed to really push myself into something different. I'm gonna bring the glue in here. I was gonna remove this, but it's kind of stuck in there. So know that. And leave that clip in there. And you can add to these more if you want. I have some extra light ones in here that I could put underneath if I wanted, or somewhere here maybe. Oh, that'll look good too. So that is the front. I'm not going to put this. I'll put this last. We'll put this in here, and it just, all in all, I think it looks really, really beautiful. So let's move. We'll put that there and this one there just in case, and we'll see where we go in the inside. So the inside, I really wanted to kind of showcase the paper. Let's just say I really like it, and that's why we're adding last, and last is because sometimes I forget the position of the mechanism, and then it's not, it's really kind of complicated. And so I'm just gonna like really copy, not co oh, see guys what I told you? Wait. Let me bring my bone folder real quick, and we'll just really push that. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so I wanted a little bit of the paper because the paper is gorgeous and I really, really enjoy it. And then we are going to add these two papers, and we're going to make the exact same thing on the other side. We could make this way just to create some fun. That could be just so the eye sees something different. What do you guys think? So boating, do we put the same or do we make it different? Let me see what you guys think. I'm going to tear off the edge of these. I like tear off, guys. I'm into tearing off lately. I'm not even sure why, but let me know what you think in the chat. If you rather have the same layout or a little bit different. So Carrie says different. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going with you, Carrie, with different. Different, huh? Looks like we have a winner. So let's go ahead and do this one first. And I do like this underneath, like tucked in. And so we're gonna do that. Remember all these measurements and everything will be in the PDF tutorial, so don't freak out about it. And I'm going to leave that, but now I'm going to put this one up top, and I'm also going to tear this off. I don't know if the same happened. I just saw Belinda's post. Belinda's saying that different is her middle name. So that is very funny. Um, I don't know if it's only me, and I'm just wondering if when you have um, like a piece like this, I always feel like I should put something between those two, right? This is where putting like ribbon always looks so good, but I am not going to do that this time. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to put the glue on the bottom first so we can tuck in the other one. Maybe if I did that what I was doing with the ribbon, I would have more use for ribbon. I tend to forget the ribbon, which is really weird. So now we're going to go and bring this in and tuck it in. And that way we can make sure that these two are at the same level though. Okay, so that looks really, really pretty. This paper is really pretty. Now we need 3 panels. Actually, it's 4 panels. Let me bring. So we'll need a piece. This piece measures 4 by 2 3/4, and we need to score these in half. So let me bring this real quick because I did not. So we're going to align at 2 and score. And we're going to need 2 panels that are the ones that go in the back, and they measure so the whole piece is 2 7/8 by 2 3/8. And I did change some of the measurements in here because I was playing with the kind of like how big this was. I wanted a little bigger. The ones that she had were really small, and I wanted this a little bigger. So on the other card, it all fit within the whole card, and I just hope that this one fits too, but I don't see why it wouldn't. So I am going to leave these as is, just like this. All I did is just 3 layers of paper, navy blue, timid tiger, and the DSP, just because it's so beautiful. Hi, Oralia, how are you? Now we are going to put glue on the, that was a little bit of glue, huh? On the triangle on the outside. So I don't know if that's how you would say on the edge, the triangle on the edge, that's where we're going to put the glue in here, and we're just going to align. Let me show it. Yeah, you can see, align these right there. So aligning at the bottom in here and aligning with the score line, not in the score line. Just always remember that, right? Not in the score line. And just making sure that goes. It is going. So that is a good start. We're going to come with the next one. So the next piece, I did debate quite a bit, guys, with this. But I think I'm going to go with the blue again. And there we go. And we'll just put a sentiment in here. The reason why is like that is because I was thinking, well, maybe I can add another piece, like just a piece of ribbon in here to add something, but I am not sure I want to do that. So let's go ahead and add these first, and then we'll figure out on the decoration. Oh, you know what? I ended up thinking that I wanted, so this is just the Massimetto DSP. I think I'm gonna stick with the blue, guys. I initially I wanted the green, and obviously you can tell I was not very well defined of exactly how I wanted and what I wanted. But Maria. Oh no, yes, I was right. Sorry, guys. It's like that happens when I'm not paying attention. But I was right. That goes. So we have 3 layers here, which is my usual, and we're gonna put the glue on that square that it's on the edge. Let me put the pin on my glue, because as you guys can see, it kind of glues. And here we go, right? The same. We're going to bring, oops, I'm going to clean that a little bit. We're going to bring these, align at the bottom with the mechanism and right next to the score line. Just remember that the reason we do that is so it doesn't interrupt the mechanism. If you put it right there at the score line, it will not fold well. So that's the whole reason. So that's how it looks, and it will close in here. Okay, and let's bring, so the last piece, this one is going to go up here, which will kind of like cover all the other part of the mechanism. And I did use the same layers, so white and white, I mean timid tiger and timid tiger, and we're going to stamp in here. I know I have my little stamp somewhere, and I am going to stamp this in Secret Sea, which is a very, again, it's a very dark color, so it will look pretty black. And it just says you made my day. So I am aligning this, and I'm going to use that as my base. My head is probably right there. I am so sorry about that, guys, but sometimes it's really hard to do this, and that is not very good stamping. That kind of like fell on the other side. So I'm going to turn this around, and we're going to stamp on the other side. So let me make sure that this is stamping okay. I think I just rolled a little bit, so there. That is not okay. I do hope I have another piece. I don't think I have one. Let's go ahead and stamp this one. I guess I have difficulty with the smaller ones. I'm going to move these towards me, guys. I'm so sorry. Just to stamp to see what I'm doing, right? Because otherwise, and I messed that one up. So this is really crazy, guys. I don't know what am I doing wrong, but 1 out of 4 tries. I'm glad I know how to stamp, huh? I definitely agree. I have said it these many times. Definitely, I'm not a really good stamper compared to other stampers anyways. So we're going to use this one. So this is how I envision these. Whoops. Okay. For some reason, not seeing there. And it is, we're going to put this one where you can actually write right next to, so this white one right next to this one, right? So it makes some contrast. And you can write on this card, right? Obviously, we could have made these flaps, flaps pockets, and let that work, which would have been amazing too. Beautiful. I didn't think about it for whatever reason, but that's an option, to just have little pockets here. But you can bring, for example, some of the tags and put the tags, even if it's right there. There's not a whole lot, but you can put them there and it will look beautiful too. So that's the first one. And the last one that I have is another paper, DSP, that has a lot more. It has like the oranges and the greens, but no blues. And I kept debating if I just wanted to use a white panel that I no longer have. So let me bring a piece of white, and we'll cut one right real quick. So this piece is 1 3/4 by 2 1/2. So I'm just going to come here and cut at 1 sorry guys, sometimes I'm like, what? No, it's not 1 3/4. Yeah, it is 1 3/4. Just kidding. By 2 1/2, and hopefully this is 2 1/2, and it is. Okay. So what I was thinking is, instead of using the DSP, it's using the mat in here, right? And then put a decoration. I think I'm going to go with that, actually. So we're going to add these in here. And this is where all those flowers really come in handy. So we have a lot of options for decorating. And we are going to add glue in all this triangle. I don't know why my mouth, I want to say square, but it's not a square, it's a triangle, guys. Okay, and I am just like we did, so aligning at the bottom and then aligning this with the middle of the triangle. So I am just making sure it's really in the middle. It seems like it is. And now we can bring some of those beautiful flowers that we have leftovers in here and use some decoration. I am thinking I want some green actually. They are all entangled. Maybe just a green one and one of these will do. I think that looks beautiful, so we'll use that. Because these are big flowers, right? So it's not like, it's not something that you can use small. Sorry guys. Sorry guys. Okay, let me let her out. Come on. She works hard with me. Hi, Julie. How are you? Okay, so we have this one, very simple, and then I have this one. So remember, our front says thanks, and then it says, can't wait to see you soon. You made my day. So I think it was all very appropriate, and we're just going to glue these here in the middle. So the way I saw it was kind of letters, letters, flowers, flowers. Carrie, that's funny. Carrie's saying that that startled her. Let me tell you, I always tell her, like, I still need my heart, girl. I need my heart too. You're going to kill me one of these days. Yeah, she barks. She's like that. And we're working, like I'm working, and then all of a sudden I hear some of her barking, and I'm like, holy moly, right? It's really loud. And I am thinking if I can put like maybe one of these in here. And I can fold this a little bit. I don't know. I don't totally love it. What if we do one of these? Cha-ching. Where is? I did cut one. Okay, there it is. Not really. I don't love it. So it's going to stay like that. Now, lastly, I did cut, not cut, I do have a Timid Tiger one, and I want to put one in here with maybe a little bit of green. What do you guys think? Is it too much? I think it's too much, huh? Even I get to think things are too much sometimes. Um, yeah, nope. No, 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 no. I think it's good the way it is. It doesn't need anything else. What do you guys think? Let me know. So I'm going to try now to close it. We have not closed it, right? So just making sure it closes. Now it's getting entangled in here. So that means I really need to put glue in here so this closes well. Okay. See, because it goes really to the bottom. So there it goes. Okay, we made it. And it closes, it closes, it closes. Thank you, Bev. We all agreed. Far too much. And there we go. So this is our car. And yeah, I think it looks good. So once you put it, it looks like this. Of course, this is great to put pictures. This, it's great for using DSP. I love when you're able to just really put your DSP to the to show it off. And this is the front. Let me go ahead and tie this up real quick. And please don't laugh. I don't know how to make bows. There's no other. I have no other excuse. I just don't know how to. I need to take a classes of bows, guys. So if somebody knows where I can get a class how to make bows, it's really funny. Anyways, I'm just holding that so I can keep that close. And I'm going to bring my thanks right there. So remember, this house, I have take off the backing. And I'm going to bring these thanks that's now all stuck to my fingers right in here. So above all the flowers, tiny bit. I know it's going to encounter that one, but I think that will look really cute. And it's almost straight. There we go. The last thing, there's two things extra I want to do. One of them is I'm going to bring my Oh my goodness. My Wink Stella, because I always call it different, and just go ahead and put Wink Stella all over my things. I could have done that before, but I just thought about it. So really, and I just thought about it, which is funny because I actually did that for the other card that I'll show you here in a minute. So I'm just giving a little bit of a spark in here, and I think it really looks beautiful. It just gives it a really, really shimmery feeling. Now, obviously, we need some, I was going to say some dimensionals, but no, it's not dimensionals. We need uh, some of the bling. These is the one that actually comes with the Charming, Floral Charming Suite, but I think it's too much blue. I really am thinking I want some of that Timid Tiger colors. And so, whoops, that one went alive. Because then it brings a pop of color, right? And so I'm going to bring these two. So I'm going to bring one in there, one there, and we're going to bring one of the smaller ones maybe up here. And because it's me and I really like to add elements like that, I'm going to bring some out here, well, like within the flowers, and I'm just going to use the smaller ones for that. So you have a little bit of an extra pop of color around the whole card. And I think I'm going to bring another one here. Okay, so very over decorated, nothing new, nothing new. Haha. Oh my goodness. So Belinda is saying that she is creating a wedding album for a very good friend and this design would be perfect. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yes, that's a really good point. And then I see, okay, that's great. So Susie is saying, look up the 10-second bow maker. Huh. Okay, Susie, thank you for that. Okay, so this is our card today. Again, just remember this is not my colors, not something I work, but we have to like really push ourselves to do something different every so often. And this was that. And we're just going to open and it just looks so beautiful, I think. Just really, really cute. Now, this is the other one I made. Whoops, and it's using the painterly pears. Thank you, Anita, and thank you, Adrian, Bev too, Tracy and Julie, all of you. Thank you so much. So I have to tell you, in spite of how many times I've said I don't like fruits, this sweet has got my heart. So these are just die cuts. I love die cuts as always, love them. I think that's one of the most uh, brilliant things that Stampin' Up does. And all I'm using is just the same idea, except the paper is in on the back, and then just the die cuts, right? And the same thanks. And then we open, and I am using Secret C. So there you go, Carrie. This is how it looks, and then it opens, and I'm just using that just gorgeous paper. And because this paper has the design that is the whole design. Sorry guys, I got one in here and I don't even know where that one came from, but I'm gonna put it there. So I mean, they when they make the 12 by 12 paper and it just has flowers all around the borders, so that worked really well for this card. Really, really well, right? Like it just works great. And as you guys can see, I kept more or less the same sentiments. This one is from, I can't remember which one is that one from. But anyways, I mean, it's just another sentiment, right? A good friend is a gift. I'm just trying to create some thanks cards because I love sending thanks cards, and so this is the other option. I Thank you, guys. I really, really, I have to tell you, I really love this. This is what I was telling you, that a color like Darling Duckling that is not totally my favorite. I was super surprised how much I liked that and how much I like the color combination they created here. It's so beautiful. Um, and I just loved it. I should have done this one, but I didn't. Oh, so yeah, I agree, Carrie. I have a hard time with that. I mean, there's obviously she's saying that she never knows how to use these types of papers, and it's interesting because I don't either. And sometimes when they are very busy, I just have to. I heard somebody, and I can't remember who it was, but it was a demonstrator saying when you feel that a paper is too, you know, too vibrant, too strong for you, you have to use it in little pieces. And so that's kind of what happens here. I love this paper. I like absolutely love it. But for whatever reason, like just use a whole piece is harder for me. So like in here, that one is in here in the back, but it kind of just kind of like really blends well with the whole card. Thank you. Yeah, I really like that one, and that's what I was telling you about pushing myself to use other colors because these came very natural. Boom, boom, boom. To make this one, I really have to think it through. So I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it, but I just really have to push myself to think through this one because even if I like this paper, I have a hard time making the whole color combination. In the end, I think that that one is cute as well. It's just that I like this one better. So that happens, right? Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here with me today. I really, really appreciate all your support as always. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Also, share in your social media. That helps me a lot. So I was thinking about something, that's why I stopped, but I want to bring out that um, I have not done the raffle for these. I will do it this weekend and then just announce the winner in here. Again, I have had a little bit of complication finding a good app, and I just don't want to invest in getting one. So Alice is asking if I had to color those pairs. These are not colored by me. These are just part of the paper, which is why I love it, because you have the dies to cut them. And I think, again, Stampin' Up! Does a really, really great job at making paper that you can cut, um, just die cut from it. Now, I have colored them. I did color one. You guys know I save everything in here, so, and I did cut a ton of them. So these two I did color. There you go. You're bringing them up here. So these two I did color, and I used blends for it. So they are very easy to color. You just have to play a little bit with the light, the highs and the lights, but that's not a whole lot. So very, really, really easy to color. Thank you, guys. I am so, so glad that you like them. Oh, so this is where it came from. It's from here. It's a good friend. It's a gift. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. Again, share and subscribe and like. And I hope God bless you richly, and see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Bye.